Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Marketing Momentum with Charles and Deborah. Charles, we've been doing this for a few years, not just a
A
few
long
episodes,
time.
a
Yeah, that's
few.
been a little bit, right? Yeah.
I think, did we start in 2012? If not, close to
I want to
it.
say 13, maybe. I'm
Okay.
not sure. It's been a little while though.
I know it was around the time that I started Social Cafe. And the reason I know is because I'm tweeting out like 100 tweets that were like, hey, we've been serving you since, August of 2012. I know if you've seen them, I'm sorry if I'm annoying people. Actually, I do it because you can't own hashtags, but when other people come by and it's like, well, this is our hashtag. Well, no, actually, there's no such thing as ownership of hashtags, but some
Not
of
yet.
us have been using them for a long time. But that could be a whole nother topic on hashtags and Instagram and all. I don't even know if that's
Yeah,
something.
trademarking
Yeah,
hashtags.
there we go. Ooh, I like that. Okay, so today's topic, success formula for 2018. First of all, I'm curious if there is such a thing as presenting a success formula. Personally, I think that the success formula is something people either discover, derive, like you have to almost come up with your own personalized success formula for yourself. But there could be tips out there, and that's kind of what we're here today to maybe share some insights. What do you think, Charles?
Yeah, I think it's really um it's a discovery process and but there are things that I think you can kind of do to put yourself in position to discover them, right? So
That makes sense. So kind of almost like maybe we have a list of, let's say, 10 things that you should be doing to, as a discovery process, as you said, maybe 10 things you should do on your way. Like for instance, I'm thinking something everyone should do is have an email list.
no question, right? Has that has to be that's the only asset online that you ultimately have.
Hmm. That, and would you include your website, or are you kind of including website as a part of that?
There are people who, I mean, if you looked at their website, I guess you have to have one, but um, is the website always going to be an asset? Maybe, right? That's a maybe, but the email list is a definite, right? It's like you gotta have that.
That's a good point because, I mean, if you're talking, is it leadpages.net? If you're talking
Mhm.
like or whatever service you use
Or
for lead
whatever, right?
page,
Yeah.
you can do that without having a website. So you go back to that email list where you're actually communicating.
Yeah, hopefully, right? I mean, I
Mhm.
know a lot of people who've got them, huge email lists, and then they don't really see it as an asset, so they don't really use it in that way.
I see it, but I think I have this fear of what if someone unsubscribes? What if 10,000 subscribers and somebody, God forbid, I have 9,999.
Well, I don't even think I know that I think if you probably go a little ways back, I think companies like eBay and Amazon, they were good at it, and Walmart was not always good at it, as I recall. And I think that was because they really were up against it, you know, with Amazon. I think they've gotten good at it, and they've really worked at it. I mean, even somebody big as Amazon really underutilizes an email list. I mean, it probably is just not necessarily doesn't come natural, I think, to most businesses, most people.
That makes sense because I get a lot. I just got an email today. I mean, I changed the recurring of dog food. When you get a dog food bag that's like three, actually probably more like 8 times the size of your dog, you
Yeah.
probably don't need that to come every month. So it's like, but I mean, I got like 2 emails from Amazon letting me know I changed the recurring order of the dog food or something. It's like, thank you. I appreciate that. I save that in case I get another huge bag next month,
That's
whatever.
right.
But
Yeah.
you're right. I don't get emails suggesting, hey, we noticed that you read this book on Kindle, but maybe you'd be interested in this book or whatever. I mean, I see them on the site, but I don't get them in the email.
And it's really something. I mean, I know a lot of people who have this skill set, right? And they sort of know how to do stuff like build WordPress websites and a whole lot of really cool stuff. I honestly think that, if you know a local barber, or if you know somebody in your local area, and you're just trying to figure out, okay, what can I do for somebody that really make an impact to their business that would make them want to pay me? Well, I mean, heck, um, I can think of 10 businesses right now, small and local, that I never get emails from, right? It's almost like that's like an immediate impact sort of thing that everybody should be doing, but most people don't.
That's a good point. I think I used to get emails from one of the salons where I'd get nails. And actually, I appreciate their emails because it might be, hey, we, try this new thing, or we're having a special on hair coloring, and especially when I'm already going there for my nails,
Right.
it's like, yeah, sure, I'll stay a little bit longer. And, us women like to feel pampered. I suppose, okay, I'm sorry. I shouldn't make anything gender specific. Men probably like to be pampered as well. But,
I guess.
so,
Oh, yeah.
but I thought that was interesting because I don't think in all the years that I've gone to salons, I don't think I've ever gotten emails. But that one particular salon, like you said, somebody had the gift and sent out these really helpful emails.
Yeah, and it's again, it's a fundamental, and one of those things that as you were talking about, we just you just ignore for the brighter and shinier things.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I don't want to tell people how easy it is to to sell to me. As far as like, I start unsubscribing from people because it's like I haven't unsubscribed from you, Charles. But it's like, oh no, I'm going to buy this from him. I'm going to buy this from him. I got to like avoid that click. So as far as like success formula, and I was thinking when you talk about website, and I'm not sure if you said this, but I was thinking it as you were talking. But the gift also within the website to kind of, the funnel and leading people through the website without making them feel like they're being led. Like I'm picturing almost like a ring through the nose and pulling somebody. And no offense to anyone that has jewelry in their nose, not going there today. My daughter has one, so I'm not going there today. But that's a gift as well, is to be able to gently lead people where they feel like they're being helped rather than, hey, make another purchase. And Coach Glue, okay, by the way, Coach Glue did not pay me. I will admit I'm an affiliate, but they did not pay me to do this. I'm that impressed with their website and their gift at recommending other products. I think the other thing is a lot of times I've already bought that, but that's probably just says I bought too much from Coach Glue already. But their recommendations really they fit with the purchase, and they're just really good at building that website that leads me through the process.
I think they have done a good job of really first defining, who they're selling to. I think they sell some of the same stuff that maybe other people do, but they very clearly are looking at, who they're selling to. They very clearly, I think the colors, the imagery they use, they're really after somebody. And I don't know whether, I mean, maybe they've gotten help and they've gotten people to kind of help them with that. But for example, I probably wouldn't buy something from them, but it's not because it's not good. It's just because, I mean, I look at the imagery and the colors, and my wife might, right? Right. But I probably wouldn't. And I think they do. But again, I know a lot of guys who are in my circle, and they buy their stuff and it's great. But I'm just saying, I think they have really, though, in terms of their core buyer, they sort of know what that core buyer is thinking, and they really do zero in with everything. It's like a really consistent message in everything they've got.
I was going to ask you that very question on the colors because I love the colors. Almost like I want to match, like all my 45 sites, I want to match the color scheme of Coach Glue. But I don't, because I try to think like I think my tech audit one, which is more likely to be one that out of all my sites that will draw a male gender, as far as, talking, financial, the market, stock markets, things like that. Not that women don't go there, but that one has more of a green. Well, okay, green money. I guess that's probably what I was thinking, but it's got a less feminine look to it. But yeah, I've intentionally had to tell myself, don't pick out the colors that you like, because you need to kind of have, each site needs to have its own brand, but also you need to appeal to both genders. So I was going to ask you, Charles, if that's something that, because I think that's something that actually draws me to their site is the color scheme. And I was going to ask you, that's something that kind of, I don't want to say turns you off, because I'm not trying to insult Coach Glue, but
yeah, no, I think it's important. I think, for example, I know they do an event that they call a beach event, right? I'm probably not invited to that, but it's okay, because, I mean, clearly they know who they want to come, and those are going to be the same people who are probably going to buy, their content. And so I think I don't think they would mind if I purchased something. I don't think they'd mind if I came to the beach event. I think, though, they know who they want to come there, and they're very, I think, intentional about who they want that to be.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I wrote an article one time on buyer persona and really understanding who your I mean, when it comes down to it and you're paying the electric bill, you need money to come into your business. So, I mean, if that means defining your buyer persona, which is a good thing to do, kind of profile them. I know people talk about like, oh, you shouldn't profile, you shouldn't, all this stuff, but I think you're right. I think they've done that. And that doesn't mean that men are not welcome, but they figured out how to hit. I mean, it works for me. I spend money on Coach Glue. Like I can't visit their site because I'll spend money. So they've done it really well because it definitely has sucked me into it. And I'm not unhappy. That's a double negative intentionally, but meaning I am happy with the content that I get. And yeah, all their pictures and even the beach pictures, the beach event, the whole thing, it gets, I don't know what it does, but it draws in that certain persona, a certain buyer profile.
Yeah, I think I mean, I live in Central PA, and we're very heavily influenced by I'd say Mennonite culture, old religion, old sort of I'd say frugal culture. So, if you see a
Ah,
sign on the side of the road, it'll say, I mean, a lot of advertising is done with a sign right on the side of the road that just says, and it's not just that it's a sign. It's typically like if it's advertising, let's say a basketball camp, the sign will say basketball camp, dial this number. And in Central PA, that's probably effective because again, they're communicating to the kind of person that again, it's probably going to be semi-religious, probably going to be pretty frugal, probably is really into playing, probably would be turned off by something that's really slick and would kind of turn away. And for the most part, these are folks who, I mean, there are a lot of people who don't have websites. They're not really into big into mobile. I mean, it's really crazy. But those signs and those, I guess if they really want to hype stuff up, they put it in all caps. So
where I think they're yelling at me. It's like, oh no,
right.
I'm not going to go there because they're
So it's like
yelling.
we're really good. We're gonna hype it up now.
Or what is it? Serif font. There we go. Some little.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, exactly. You're right. So, but I think, but those people who are really successful at getting people to pay attention, at least here, right in Central PA, sort of know what that message has got to be, and I think that's kind of, because part of our job is, marketing and sales have merged now, right? Because part of the game is getting the right person in front of the message. So that's sort of like one whole thing. And then once you get in there, having the right messaging, having it said right. I mean, it used to be those are always going to be two separate things, like your marketing person, your salesperson. Well, now, with people
Um,
sort of marketing themselves, everybody's doing those two things together. And they do require different skills. They require different focuses. And it's almost as if, you've got to be able to figure out first, how can I design something or give people something and get the right person in front of that thing? And then now that I know who that is, how do I need to say it so that they understand it? They hear it in their language. They're not turned off by it. They understand that I'm on their side. I want to help them, help them succeed. So they'll go ahead and they'll buy.
that's a really good point because I've always said I could be a marketing director and I have been, but I'm not a salesperson because as far as I want somebody else to go in with the marketing strategy and actually close the deal. But you're right, we're becoming more blended as far as one person doing both on that. Um,
Yeah, and I don't know yet if I have heard that, and you've probably heard the same thing that people want to be educated before they make a decision. This is a more information based culture. I don't know that it is. I don't know if that's always going to be the case, but I do know that if you've done a good job, if search engines do some of the job for you, right? It used to be, so we said, well, search engines, if I put in a search term and I get to a page, then I've already sort of raised my hand, said, okay, I'm interested in this subject. And so if I get to a page, then all you've got to do then is you got to then make me, as you said, lead me to something that I want, even if it's just the opt-in. But at the same time, though, I still think that you can oversell something, you can overeducate, you can overassume that you are really, going to kind of bring somebody in when really all they really want, was the thing they were looking for in the first place. They're not. There's some people that are just not interested in all the other. They're looking around like, okay, that's where's the thing so I can go buy it.
I've had that at some sites too, where it's like I just want to click on the button to I just purchased what I came here for, and where is it? And I'm going back to Google search and putting site
else comes up in front of me like,
it's like I don't want that. I just want to get. I was one of the. Okay, I'm trying to remember now. You say so many things that are helpful, Charles, and I'm trying to remember. I'll think of it in like 15 minutes after we're done with the show, and I'll have to put it in Skype so remember it for another show. Oh man, I can't remember. As far as the success formula, I think it must be time for a nap because I honestly cannot remember any. It's not like I can hit rewind on this one, but just kind of wrapping it up as far as a success formula. I think you're right. I think we could do like 20 marketing momentums just on the process of learning what the success formula is for each person. Other than maybe if we leave people something, get your email list. If you don't already have it, get it going. There's articles on that. Charles has videos on that, I believe. And you have like Aweber. You have all kinds of helpful videos on how to set those up, I believe. Yeah. So like, I think I purchased some of those. I have some on my hard drive. And kind of just get involved. I mean, get something done. Don't sit and wait until the 26th week of the year where you're going to come up with some plan to make money as a freelancer.
Yeah, I think with freelancing, and I think even however you define freelancing, even if you're selling product, I think, and I had this discussion with another marketer, is you really do have to be trying to sell something every day, and I think that's hard for people. Right? I think that's a hard mentality. Like I said, we're not just responsible for production. Right? We're not just responsible for marketing. We're responsible for sales. So I think, the other thing is we have to sort of turn on whatever that hat looks like, whether it's putting a signature file together, whether it is doing something every day to ask for the sale.
That's a really good point. When you said put something on, I was thinking, maybe I'm being visual here. Maybe if you have like a baseball cap or something, a certain color, maybe it's a color you don't wear, but you like or something. I don't know, whatever. Literally putting that hat on during that time that kind of keeps you focused that this is the task I'm doing.
I know people who do that, right? Who I mean, they don't feel comfortable selling, but then they have something that it's a reminder, like you said, okay, you know what? I'm putting this on. That means now, I have to turn on even if I'm uncomfortable. Right. Even though I'm uncomfortable with it, I have to turn on the sales part of me.
And you have to do it or you don't pay your utility bill.
That's right. No, that's exactly right.
And this is the wrong place for this because we're closing, but I finally remembered what it was. I couldn't remember, but it actually fits better with this marketing momentum than another one. But you're talking about the like the basketball ad on maybe a billboard or something in central Pennsylvania. And I was thinking about Southern California. And there, if you had like an ad that just simply said, it'd be like, there's something wrong with that person. What is wrong with that person? That's all they have. You expect a bathing beauty. You expect her to be gorgeous.
No, exactly.
As a woman, you don't get jealous. Instead, you're looking to say, how can I be that gorgeous? Whatever it is you're advertising. And you kind of know that it's not a scam. You just know that that's the presentation in Southern California. It's how can you improve your life? How can you look more gorgeous? How can you acquire more wealth? How can how can you live like a Southern California person?
Right. Come to my basketball camp.
Yeah. It's like, no, you better have some hunky guys on. Not that would work on me, but I'm just saying you better, or some hunky girls. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah,
whatever works. On that note, I think I'll leave that one alone before I get myself in trouble. And I certainly don't want to get in trouble with the Mennonite population in Pennsylvania. I respect that one. So with that, I'm going to close my mouth and say thank you for attending Marketing Momentum with Charles and Deborah, and we'll see you at the next one.
Okay, bye-bye, Deb. Bye, everybody.